This issue of homosexuality is a very serious issue because it is an issue of the human race. So it's not something that you should discuss to be seen, to be what? No, 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 no. You only talk because you are sure of what you are saying. Otherwise, keep quiet.
I'm going to try not to get any trouble with YouTube, not to get any kind of strike by what I'm going to say. You all pray for me. Everybody is familiar with what Uganda has passed. Uganda has passed these laws restricting, making it illegal to have any sort of homosexual relationship. For example, if you're promoting homosexuality, you get 20 years in prison, 10 years in prison for attempted homosexuality, and now there's even the possibility of being put to death. Well, naturally, the United States of America, especially those in government, they're in an uproar.
Human rights are universal. No one should be attacked, imprisoned, or killed simply because of who they are or whom they love.
Uganda is a sovereign nation. They want to do things the way they want to do. They want to protect their citizens, and they think that it is wrong. Us, as being a professed Christian nation, I say that kind of lightly, tongue-in-cheek, you would think that we would have the same goals, the same morals, the same values, but no, they do.
Locally here, many Ugandans are excited about the president's decision, signing it into law, because it has been a big debate on the streets.
Now, because of this, the United States has in the past threatened sanctions against, possible sanctions against Uganda. And so now what we're seeing happening now is that they are going to want to push the World Health Organization to hold back or to withhold. And how will they do so? Any sort of services or any sort of monetary benefit to Uganda. How are they going to do so? Well, because the United States will withhold what they might give to the World Health Organization or really any other organization.
We're certainly watching this real closely, and we would have to take a look at whether or not there might be repercussions that we would have to take, perhaps in an economic way, should this law actually get passed and enacted.
What I'm thankful for is two. One, the president in his resolve, he is not, and I mean the Ugandan president, he is not backing down, even though Joe Biden is urging them and even threatening sanctions against them directly from the United States. Even at that, he is still not backing down. As a matter of fact, sometimes even shooting a shot at the United States and thanking other countries who are not doing the same.
To know that in the West, there are some still human beings who believe in normal life. They attempt to if there is a deviation from normal, if there is an abnormality, how would you seek to universalize an abnormality?
Yes, there are still human beings in the West. As a matter of fact, there are a lot over here who just don't happen to be in government and you don't hear their voice. But I can promise you, Mr. President, there are people here that support what you're doing. As a matter of fact, not just us, but he also has the support of his people at home as well. Remember, this is a country that is fairly religious. You've got a lot of Christians that are in Uganda, and you do have some Muslims there, and none of the groups are wanting to tolerate this. But then you even have the students who have protested Joe Biden. I'm not one of these real big conspiracy theorist people or people that are looking towards how the end is going to be, the one world government and so forth. No, that's not what I'm doing. But you can see some things that will kind of have to be in place in order for the lawless man to show up. And that is when countries get together and threaten other countries who are trying to be moral. Maybe they're trying to do some things that also align with godly principles. I'm not saying that Uganda is a godly place. That's not what I'm saying. Remember, this is a country where we've got a place like, or a governor like Gavin Newsom, who a few years ago signed into law, giving the judges the ability to reduce some of the sentences, some of the penalties against someone who's had sex with a minor. That's a crime, by the way. Even to have the ability for the judge to not put them on the sex offense registry. So I don't think that we have any room to tell someone what's right and what's wrong when we don't even protect our own children. We don't have a problem with kids having their lives changed and destroyed just so their parents can feel good about having a transgender child, just so they can kind of placate to the devil and destroy these kids' life, these irreversible surgeries, outlawing in certain places, California and other places in the Northeast, outlawing the ability for someone to speak the gospel to some child who is confused about their sexuality. But no, let's go ahead and promote some kid to be either homosexual or transgender, knowing full well what the ramifications are for someone who is in that LGBTQ lifestyle, knowing that the highest suicide rate and depression rate is in that community. But let's go ahead and push our kids into that lifestyle. I applaud Uganda. I wish that we would have more sense. I wish we would have a president. I wish we would have governors who had more sense, even enough sense to say, leave these children alone. But we don't. So in the meantime, God bless Uganda.